Hello everyone and welcome to Burn Your Books, Open Your Mind. I am your friend and host BYBOYM and you are watching Foundation for NEET. We have started our course in life processes with digestion and absorption, and the 14th topic is esophagus. Esophagus is also known as food pipe and is a muscular tube approximately 25 cm in length. It is present behind the trachea and the heart. The esophagus connects the pharynx to the stomach. We discussed in the last video that the journey of the food begins with the mouth and then it reaches the oral cavity. After oral cavity, the food reaches esophagus through pharynx. This happens after the food passes through the opening of the esophagus, which is known as the gullet. Pharynx is the common passageway of both food and air. We saw in histology of alimentary canal that there are two layers of muscularis present in the esophagus, the outer longitudinal and the inner circular muscularis layer. Together, they serve very important functions. There are points in the alimentary canal where the constriction of muscles results in the complete blockage of the canal. Two such points are present in the esophagus, the upper esophageal sphincter and the lower esophageal sphincter. Before understanding what a sphincter is, let's take a nice screenshot of whatever we have done. Moving ahead, what is a sphincter? A sphincter is a circular muscle that normally maintains constriction of a natural body passage or orifice, and this muscle can relax when required, resulting in the opening of the passage. There are many sphincters present in the alimentary canal. Two sphincters of importance in esophagus are UES, upper esophageal sphincter, and LES, lower esophageal sphincter. Now let's take a look at the journey of food. We discussed it in the last video that the pharynx is the common passageway for both food and air. So there must exist a mechanism to avoid entry of food in the windpipe. If you are not eating, then the mouth is closed and the esophageal sphincter is contracted, thus closing the gates to esophagus. The glottis is open since the epiglottis is up. The air you breathe enters through your nostrils and then it reaches the nasal cavity, and then through the pharynx and glottis enters the trachea. From trachea it would move forward into the lungs. The epiglottis, the cartilaginous flap of tissue that covers the entry of windpipe, remains lifted while you breathe, allowing flow of air into trachea. Now talking about the second case, this was the case when the trachea is open. Now talking about the second case when you are eating food and the esophagus is open. In the case of eating, the epiglottis is down and the entry of windpipe is closed. On the contrary, the esophageal sphincter is relaxed and allows the entry of food into the esophagus. The food forms bolus in the oral cavity after mixing with saliva. This bolus then reaches the pharynx and then the esophagus through the gullet. The swallowed bolus of food is moved downwards to the stomach and is aided by peristaltic movements of esophagus. What are peristaltic movements? During peristalsis, a portion of the esophagus just ahead of the bolus relaxes, while the part just behind the bolus constricts. This allows the forward movement of food but restricts the backward flow. This movement occurs in waves and is known as a peristaltic wave or peristaltic movement. In other words, peristalsis is the rhythmic wave of contraction and relaxation of smooth muscles that help to propel the ball of food bolus along the gastrointestinal tract. So now screenshot time. Moving ahead to do you know. The first point is food and liquid that you intake just don't move down by gravity alone. That means the smooth muscles present in the esophagus, the inner circular and the outer longitudinal muscularis aids in this movement. Now second point is during vomiting, the esophageal sphincters open and the food from stomach is expelled out through the mouth in a retrograde manner. This brings us to our third point. When your sphincters get weak, the stomach acid moves up through the esophagus and damages its lining, causing gastro-esophageal reflux disease or GERD. Obesity, chain smoking and certain medications make you more prone to GERD. What is the solution? If you take deep breaths, it is said to reduce your chances of GERD as it strengthens the sphincter muscles. Other ways of improving your esophageal health are quit smoking, monitor what goes into the esophagus, avoid carbonated drinks, include veggies and fruits in your diet. During night time, it is better to sleep in tilted position with your head raised a little so that the acid remains in the stomach and you do not suffer from acid reflux. If you like the video, do not forget to like, share and comment. If you wish to be notified about the upcoming videos, hit the bell button and subscribe. You are watching Burn Your Books, Open Your Mind.